Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
A specialized division of a large organization. You'll find it in the hardware department. A specialized sphere of knowledge. Baking is not my department. The territorial and administrative division of some countries, such as France. A self-contained part of a larger composition, written or musical. He always turns first to the business section. A specialized division of a large organization. She got a job in the historical section of the Treasury. The cutting of or into body tissues or organs, especially by a surgeon as part of an operation. Geometry, the area created by a plane cutting through a solid. One of the portions into which something is regarded as divided and which together constitute a whole. The finance section of the company. A small class of students who are part of a larger course but are taught separately. A graduate student taught sections for the professor's lecture course. Divide into segments. One of several parts or pieces that fit with others to constitute a whole object. A section of a fishing rod. A distinct region or subdivision of a territorial or political area or community or group of people. No section of the nation is more ardent than the South. A division of an orchestra containing all instruments of the same class. A land unit equal to 1 square mile. A segment of a citrus fruit. He ate a section of the orange. A small army unit usually having a special function. A small team of policemen working as part of a police platoon. A very thin slice, of tissue or mineral or other substance, for examination under a microscope. Sections from the left ventricle showed diseased tissue. A group of ships of similar type. One of the portions into which something is regarded as divided and which together constitute a whole. The BBC's engineering division. The act of dividing or partitioning. Separation by the creation of a boundary that divides or keeps apart. Discord that splits a group. A league ranked by quality. A unit of the United States Air Force usually comprising 2 or more wings. An administrative unit in government or business. An arithmetic operation that is the inverse of multiplication. The quotient of 2 numbers is computed. An army unit large enough to sustain combat. 2 infantry divisions were held in reserve. Biology. A group of organisms forming a subdivision of a larger category. Botany. Taxonomic unit of plants corresponding to a phylum. The act or process of dividing. The apparent surface of the imaginary sphere on which celestial bodies appear to be projected. A particular aspect of life or activity. A particular environment or walk of life. His social sphere is limited. The geographical area in which one nation is very influential. Any spherically shaped artifact. A solid figure bounded by a spherical surface, including the space it encloses. A 3-dimensional closed surface such that every point on the surface is equidistant from the center. A particular aspect of life or activity. He was helpless in an important sector of his life. A plane figure bounded by 2 radii and the included arc of a circle. A portion of a military position. A social group that forms part of the society or the economy. The public sector. Measuring instrument consisting of two graduated arms hinged at one end. The minimum track length that can be assigned to store information, unless otherwise specified. A sector of data consists of 512 bytes. A district defined for administrative purposes. A district defined for administrative purposes. A district defined for administrative purposes. A division of a school that is responsible for a given subject. A division of a business firm. A department of government. A list of employees and their salaries. The company had a long payroll. The department that determines the amounts of wage or salary due to each employee. The total amount of money paid in wages. The company had a large payroll. The department that determines the amounts of wage or salary due to each employee. Group of people willing to obey orders. The department responsible for hiring and training and placing employees and for setting policies for personnel management. The department responsible for hiring and training and placing employees and for setting policies for personnel management. The department responsible for hiring and training and placing employees and for setting policies for personnel management. Defense against financial failure, financial independence. His pension gave him security in his old age. A formal declaration that documents a fact of relevance to finance and investment. The holder has a right to receive interest or dividends. An electrical device that sets off an alarm when someone tries to break in. A department responsible for the security of the institution's property and workers. The head of security was a former policeman. A guarantee that an obligation will be met. Property that your creditor can claim in case you default on your obligation. Bankers are reluctant to lend without good security. Measures taken as a precaution against theft or espionage or sabotage, etc. Military security has been stepped up since the recent uprising. Freedom from anxiety or fear. The watchdog gave her a feeling of security. The state of being free from danger or injury. We support the armed services in the name of national security. A department responsible for the security of the institution's property and workers. The department responsible for hiring and training and placing employees and for setting policies for personnel management. Indicate through a symbol, formula, etc. The territory occupied by a nation. A politically organized body of people under a single government. The state has elected a new president. Chemistry. The three traditional states of matter are solids, fixed shape and volume, and liquids, fixed volume and shaped by the container, and gases, filling the container. The solid state of water is called ice. The territory occupied by one of the constituent administrative districts of a nation. His state is in the deep south. Put before. The federal department in the United States that sets and maintains foreign policies. Express in words. State your opinion. A state of depression or agitation. He was in such a state you just couldn't reason with him. The group of people comprising the government of a sovereign state. The state has lowered its income tax. The way something is with respect to its main attributes. The current state of knowledge. Material in the top layer of the surface of the earth in which plants can grow, especially with reference to its quality or use. The land had never been plowed. The territory occupied by a nation. He returned to the land of his birth. A politically organized body of people under a single government. An industrialized land. United States inventor who incorporated Polaroid film into lenses and invented the one-step photographic process, 1909 to 1991. Extensive landed property, especially in the country, retained by the owner for his own use. The family owned a large estate on Long Island. Reach or come to rest. The bird landed on the highest branch. Bring into a different state. This may land you in jail. The people who live in a nation or country. Arrive on shore. The ship landed in Pearl Harbor. Cause to come to the ground. The pilot managed to land the airplane safely. Agriculture considered as an occupation or way of life. There's no work on the land anymore. The solid part of the Earth's surface. The plane turned away from the sea and moved back over land. Shoot at and forced to come down. The enemy landed several of our aircraft. Territory over which rule or control is exercised. He made it the law of the land. A domain in which something is dominant. A land of make-believe. Bring ashore. The drug smugglers landed the heroin on the beach of the island. Deliver, a blow. He landed several blows on his opponent's head. The land on which real estate is located. He built the house on land leased from the city. The territory occupied by a nation. A politically organized body of people under a single government. The country's largest manufacturer. A particular geographical region of indefinite boundary, usually serving some special purpose or distinguished by its people or culture or geography. Bible country. The people who live in a nation or country. The whole country worshipped him. An area outside of cities and towns. His poetry celebrated the slower pace of life in the country. A republic in Western Europe, the largest country wholly in Europe. French writer of sophisticated novels and short stories, 1844 to 1924. A republic in Western Europe, the largest country wholly in Europe.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.